Hello everyone, today we're going to be making chocolate chip cookies. Completely homemade. There's nothing better than a good cold glass of milk and some good fresh hot chocolate chip cookies. Stay with us. Today Jessica and I are going to use our very favorite recipe that we've used so far, and we would like for you to follow along with us step by step. We'll guarantee you'll like it. It's easy to make. It doesn't take that long. But it is so flavorful and joyful. Okay, we're going to start out. We're using a half a cup of butter. We're going to put our butter in first. Room temperature. The temperature of your butter is going to have a lot to do with how your cookies turn out. You want your cookies to not be too flat, too crumbly. You've got to make sure your butter is just right. We're going to start with the butter first. We're going to kind of mix it a little bit. Let's go and mix it on low for a few minutes here just to see if we can get it looking a little better. I'll be right back. And we'll pick up the speed a little bit. And soften our butter. Look at that, that looks good. It's making our butter creamier and still room temperature. And now we're going to use brown sugar and regular sugar. So we're going to take a cup of brown sugar, a cup of regular white granulated sugar. Try to get it all in there. We're going to let this mix together. It's going to cream all the sugar and the butter together. And you just watch this, and you can see whenever it looks like just one solid consistency of butter, brown sugar, and the white sugar, where you can't see it separate from each other. Just watch that on low for just a minute, and then we're going to just pick up the speed a little bit. That's going to cream all this butter and sugar. Now this is the important part. This is what's going to make your cookies turn out just right. You're not going to get too much brown sugar on one bite, and too much white sugar on the next bite, or too much butter on one bite, no butter at all on the next bite. We're going to mix it all together. We're going to do this a couple minutes. We'll scrape the side down, and then we'll try it again. Okay, now, back that off just a little bit. We're going to add our egg. Our egg is at room temperature. We're not using fresh farm eggs today. We like using fresh farm eggs, but we're just going to crack that right in there. Pick that up. And then we're going to mix the egg in. And if you find out it don't mix too good, just pick the speed up. Now it's looking much better. Okay, for dry ingredients, we're going to do a cup and a quarter of bread flour. We're going to do a tablespoon of cornstarch. What that cornstarch is going to do is going to make it kind of crispy on the outside, but still soft on the inside. That's a special additive that we use. We use a half of a teaspoon of baking soda and a half of a teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm going to sip that in together. Ain't that pretty? Look at that. Looks like it's snowing. Salt's a little grainy. You don't want to go through there. No problem. We'll just put it out this end. Okay. Now we're going to go back to our sugar and butter mixture. We're going to add a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Not vanilla flavoring, but vanilla extract. A teaspoon, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon. And we're going to finish mixing that in together. That vanilla smells like vanilla. And if you notice, we haven't turned our oven on yet because there's still going to be some wait time on this. These cookies have got to set up and be ready. Yeah, that looks good. Let's scrape her down one more time. Make sure everything on the bottom's mixed in. Get all that real good. Try to get some of that off of there. There's nothing like good old cookie dough. I think some people would rather eat the cookie dough than they would actual cookies, but since it's got raw eggs in it, we don't recommend that at all. Alright, try to save all that I can. Let's go back in a minute anyway. Put this back up. I'm going to turn it back on for a few minutes. That mix in just a little bit more. Make sure our vanilla is mixed all in real good. Okay, now we're going to add in our dry ingredients with our wet ingredients. Make sure we get it all in there. Mix that just a minute. Just turn that in good. Now, it's starting to look like cookie dough, right? Get a little closer look there. That's what we're looking for. Let me tell you, that brown sugar, that vanilla, it smells amazing. We haven't got to the cookie chocolate chips yet. It smells so good. Mixed in good. Now the fun part. Into our mixture, we're going to add 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. And face it, have you ever heard anybody say, there's too many chocolate chips in those cookies? I haven't. But we want to just turn those in. Get those all turned in together. Just kind of incorporate it all together there. I just want to dig in and start eating it now myself. Okay, now to get that perfect cookie, you need a lot of luck. Not just kidding. You need to try to do what we're going to do right here. You're going to measure out. I'm using a 1 cup or 1 tablespoon. Roll that in my hand a little bit. I'll put it on the plate. We use parchment paper to make sure that it doesn't stick. Roll that up. Try to make them all about the same size. Look at this. Okay, now we're going to take this, we're going to put it in the refrigerator, we're going to let it chill for between 30 minutes to an hour before we bake it. Okay, we got our cookies directly out of the refrigerator. They are solid. I want to get them separated good, give it plenty of room to stretch out. And we got our oven preheated to 325, okay? Oven to 325. We're going to put these in probably about 10 to 12 minutes, maybe a little more. What we want to look for is for the outside edges to kind of start browning just a little bit. The center may still look undone, but that's fine. It's going to be better that way. So we're getting ready to put these in, and we'll be right back. And you say, wow, look at that. Okay, we're going to let these cool for about 5 or 10 minutes, and we're going to put them over on the cooling rack. And guess what we're going to do next? Exactly, we're going to eat these things. So let's let them cool for just a few minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're going to transfer them over to our cooling rack. We're going to let them cool just a few more minutes there. Get us a glass of milk and make them disappear. Yeah, Britton and Isaac's just ready to dive right into these. If you see the stuff on the paper there, it's olive oil. Well, just kind of spray that on there to make it come off the parchment paper a little easier. Look at that. That's a good cookie right there. We're going to let those cook or just set for just a few minutes, and we're going to be back with you and give it a try. Okay, now let's give these baby dolls a try. See which one we're going to choose. Man, look at the chips in that one. They're all just covered with chocolate chips. I guess we'll just try this one here. You hear the noise that made? Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Wow. It's so chewy inside but crunchy on the outside. Exactly what we were shooting for with the cornstarch. I taste the brown sugar. The chocolate chips are just so wonderful, but yet not overbearing. You can still taste the cookie also. Wow. No, this is going to have a little crunch. Just on the outside. The center, as you can see, the center is soft. Look at that. The outside crunchy. That's what we're shooting for. Oh, by the way, if you hadn't hit that follow on YouTube, be sure to follow us. Having subscribers, following us, subscribing to this show really helps us out. Look at that. We need all the help we can get. If you're watching us on New Beginning Network, Dash TV on Roku. Well, I'm sorry. These are just amazing. I got to get me some milk. And until next week, Cooking with the Word, Mike and Jessica Muncie. We appreciate you all. And be sure to tune in next week. See ya.